Kind of forgot to talk about on the other great thrilling episodes of this podcast that people listen to. Build is May 19th to the 22nd. I gotta tell you, like sometimes it's like, yeah, this could be a good one, fun one. We all know what's gonna be done at this build, and
You don't want to hear 3 hours of Copilot, what are being added to something else.
how you can shove an agent somewhere where the sun doesn't shine.
You know,
I mean,
you
that's
don't
what
think it's going to be all about Windows application development and
It's a great joke for a Thursday morning. Maybe they'll announce Windows 12. Not expecting that. Maybe they'll talk about Fluent V3. I don't even know what version of Fluent we're on at this point.
right?
Maybe they'll talk about loop component. Nope.
Wow,
Maybe they'll talk.
the loop Copilot component.
That's probably what they'll say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Build historically has been my favorite show, but it's fair to say, you kind of drift off during the cloud bits in the past, and that would, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yep.
I that's how I approach everything these days. This would have been a no-brainer in the past for me, and I don't know.
Everyone can build AI things. That's what it is. So I don't know.
Yeah. Do you want to build AI things? How do you feel about that?
Yep.
I don't know.
ChatGPT actually introduced a new logo, by the way.
Yeah.
Nobody noticed because it's the same logo, but the lines are slightly, I think, thicker or maybe thinner. I don't even know. It doesn't.
Yeah. They have kind of an aesthetic, which is honestly, it's fine. It's
Yeah,
still,
I'm not hating on it. It's just they made a big deal about this new announcement. It's like, really? Like this is
yeah, it's subtle.
subtle is one way to describe it.
Yeah, well, it is subtle. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah.
Kind of flip through all the stuff. I go to their website, when they have announcements and things, and it's an odd site, as far graphically and whatever. They have these weird kind of pastel fake paintings everywhere and stuff, and it's fine. It's different. They're not spending the Microsoft money on that. I can tell you that. But
Somebody made a great joke. I gotta look and see if I can find all the different model names.
The OpenAI model names.
Yeah, hold on, because somebody said they took Microsoft's money and their naming schemes. I was like, yeah, because they have O3, O3 Mini, O3 Mini High, and it's like 440 Mini, and it's like they took their money and their naming convention from the 2000s. So,
Sure.
yeah, whatever. Whatever. ARM's no longer suing Qualcomm, so that's actually a pretty notable thing. So I guess Qualcomm came out victorious here.
Yeah, I mean, ARM is going to have to release their earnings soon, so we'll see how. Oh, did they already? ARM
yeah,
did?
I think they were up. I think they were healthy.
Oh, I missed it. I missed it then. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like they just kind of discussed it in the post earnings call. But yeah, good. That was the biggest legal waste of time we went through last year, I would say.
I suspect ARM wouldn't have pulled their complaint or whatever if they thought they were going to win. I think that's probably what it came down to. So effectively,
I mean,
a nothing burger.
I wrote this big thing after the trial ended where, like ARM's like, well, we're going to seek a retrial. It's like, yeah, I actually, you're not, like it was obvious that day they were not. I don't know why they even said that. But whatever. So yeah, here's an idea, do the right thing and just partner with your partner that you were trying to rip off. I don't know, it's just weird. Like I do feel, and I understand the, whatever, the stakeholders being upset by the fact that ARM has essentially, if not invented, is the kind of backbone of the entire personal computer industry now. And they make a very small amount of money, comparatively speaking. So I get it. Yeah, they want a bigger piece of that, but you're going to have to grow that business the old-fashioned way. not by extorting your biggest customer. I don't know. It's very strange.
Yeah. Well, if you don't want to spend your money on lawsuits, you could now buy a new Sonos or something Apple TV competitor, which I have very, very low hopes that this is going to do anything for them.
Yeah.
It
No, right.
This would have been
So
a great product about 5 years ago is when it needed to come out.
I don't feel like this is an active concern for most people. I think you kind of get what you get, and you're like, all right, whatever. Like they're not updated a lot. No,
Mm-hmm.
like Apple or
Yeah.
Fire TV or whatever, Roku especially, and I guess Fire TV too, used to be on a very regular cadence of updates. But at some point, you kind of run out of what's possible. I mean, you're just like, it's like, hey, we do 4K, it's 60 frames, it's whatever, it's
Yep.
does HDR, and there's nowhere to go with this thing. So I don't know.
Who owns Roku, by the way? Have they been bought by anybody?
I don't actually know. I would say they're probably a standalone company. Are you
Yeah,
looking
an
at
American company. Yeah, so they're standalone. So you know who
Is
should
it
merge is Roku and Sonos because that would actually make more sense than anything else.
well? So yeah, Roku has really crapped up the UI with ads, like Fire TV has, right? So
I like how you think Sonos won't do this too.
well, look. Sonos is a premium brand. I mean, one of the things they could do is tie it to some kind of a subscription service where you don't get ads, right? So the holy grail of these boxes is something that was in the Verge story about the Sonos thing, Pinewood, the code name, whatever. But is that you have one interface for everything. We've all done this. We play whack-a-mole on our phones. I guess we don't think too much of that for some reason, but you do it on our TVs too. It's like you go in and out of services. Like, where is the show I want? This is not a joke, but I often sort of joke. Like my wife and I spend more time trying to find a show than we do watching shows, and that happens a lot. And it'd be neat if there was one UI for that, but there'll always be services that it just won't buy into it. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I yeah. I don't look. There's no way I'm buying this thing, so I don't
No.
really care in a way. But I'm not really sure what they bring that's unique.
So the
I mean,
only thing that they announced, well, they haven't announced anything. So I guess we should give that qualification that they could come out with something that is whatever. But the Verge
yeah,
is whatever. When they leak Sonos stuff, they're usually not far from whatever is accurate. The
yeah. No,
only
I don't
thing in
doubt the
there
report.
that looked any appealing to anybody, which is still
Mhm.
crazy, I'm even going to say this, is that it would allow you to have proper left and right channels in the front and not
Yeah,
just a soundbar.
that's right. Well, okay. So the other one though is there is maybe this is just a Sonos problem, but apparently it solves like an audio lag issue, which we've probably all experienced. I mean, you see this in multi-speaker setups. Maybe like you take a speaker off or a set of speakers off, and the other audio kind of does a little glitchy thing, and then it
Mm-hmm.
catches up or whatever. But I mean, there's something there, but that's just a minor, like that's just a technical thing. I don't know. And by the way, I'm not 100% sure that the Sonos audio lag issues aren't a Sonos problem to begin with. So the fact that maybe they're solving a problem of their own is like whatever, great. But I don't know. We'll find we'll see. But I don't feel like their headphones took off in any meaningful way. And for a company like Sonos, I think the idea is that you should you should do what Apple did when they made the iPod or the iPhone. It's like you see there's a market out there. It exists. You're not inventing anything new.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the value you can bring, and you can approach it from the outside and do something kind of excuse me, new that people will really like. And what I'm struggling with, it's like, what do you like it because it has a Sonos logo on it? Because if that's the reason, I'm not
Yeah.
super interested.
I don't
We'll
know.
see.
We'll see. Well, I mean, I know we both like our Sonos speakers, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I might. I mean, I'm probably just going to ride out what I have and then do something different whenever something happens down the road.
Well,
But
that's the
like,
thing is like I have really little desire to buy any more speakers from us. And this is the Sonos problem, right? You can
yes,
you only need so
that's
many
right.
speakers in your life, and
Yeah. So, but that's why they look at Apple and there's an obvious model to follow,
mm,
right? And so, what did Apple do to solve this problem after you created every hardware device you can create? Well, you go to look at services. They're a little limited because it's that's why they're getting into audio, like because video, sorry, is they've done pretty much what they can do with audio.
yeah,
Um, But I look at this more from just a technology perspective, and my issue is that they don't work with everything. And the reason they don't work with everything is because they have this legal thing with Google, which is I get it. It's a little bit like the Qualcomm ARM thing in a way, though. Like I get it, but I don't get it. Like you guys, you're really restraining yourself from like growth because there's 50% of the market that looks at you and says, well, yeah, but you don't work with my stuff. And I don't understand how Google and Sonos have not fixed this, or that Sonos hasn't just been bought by Apple or something, or merged with some other company and gone in a very specific direction. But right now, if you're an Android person, like, it works. Like you can use Sonos, but you're not getting the experience you get on the Apple side. It's much better on Apple. And I wish they would fix that, but
Yeah. I take it back. They should merge with Spotify. That would be better.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, whatever, like create some kind of a, I don't know what you call this, a digital media conglomerate or whatever. You mentioned Roku, maybe there's a set of similarly sized companies that could merge and try to turn into something. I don't know.
Yeah, the three amigos of.
I was going to say the unholy trinity, but yeah, the three amigos is probably a nice way to say that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Well, it'll come out eventually. I have no idea how their headphones are doing, but
I don't think they're doing great. So today they're going to announce their earnings, right? I went back because of the stuff that's been going on. I went back and I didn't do a complete overview of this, but I know they've been losing money, right? So like the last year was kind of a bloodbath or whatever. A lot of that self-inflicted, but the thing is, before that happened, if you go back to like the December quarter from the year prior, before all that mess, they lost money then too. So I don't know for the full year of that year, but they were already hitting kind of a ceiling, which explains their, at the time, big expansive plans to have more different product types and so forth. But I don't know. I don't know if you heard the story. They didn't handle that very well. So
yeah, it's unusual.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Thursday and whatnot.
Yeah, well, at least tomorrow's Friday.